What's up, guys? It's Llama, back with watching the film. We're going to finish up Dwayne Haskins today. I got some great feedback on Reddit, NFL Draft subreddit, so we're going to keep doing this. We'll look at Kyler Murray probably next, but I want to finish up Dwayne Haskins. I don't think it's fair for me to not finish up at least this game. I don't even know how this game ends, so I want to see, because I'm pretty sure they win, so I want to see how. After we finish up Penn State, we'll go to Michigan game. Ricky Geiger on YouTube told me to look at that one. He looks like a different player. I do know they won that game, so we'll see kind of how he does. His tape hasn't been great so far. And then after we're done with everything, we'll go to my scouting report template and kind of fill it in as we go. So let's get right to it. Penn State. So we left off here. And he scrambled in the pocket, or moved in the pocket to his right, threw back left, and this guy Victor made a great play, completely changed the game now. We're not going to go. We're going to try to not take as long on one individual play as we did in the last two videos. It's not a great plays ball. Victor there makes an amazing play. Completely changes the game. All right, so here now I'm on to stuff that I've never seen. All right, so backed up, 1st and 10. They call a screen. They've been calling screens this whole game. And now these Ohio State skilled players are making guys miss. We'll move on, let it roll. Penn State brought pressure, a lot of pressure as the game went on. They show it again. They only bring 5. Well, they kind of bring 6. They have like a spy or whatever that is, a late blitzer. Let's go back to that. I'm looking at the scheme rather than what I should be looking at, which is the player. Okay, so a little play action, step up in the pocket, delivers a nice ball. Probably not the right read. If you want to hit that seam or skinny post, he's 2, so it's like a scheme. He's like a seam. He's number 2 here, second receiver. Probably should be on a line, just poorly placed. Another screen. Again, Penn State was bringing a lot of pressure. So one of the comments that we talked about on Reddit was, because I was kind of down on him in terms of some of his film in Michigan State and this game and a little Nebraska. Well, one of the glaring positives, I wrote a post about this. Oh, and there's the play that changes the game, gives him the lead. I wrote a post about this, but I like the command he has on his offense, and I like his quick decision making. I think he gets through his progressions fairly quick. I think he understands protections, at least at this level. He seems like a pretty intelligent player, especially considering he's only started whatever it was, I think like 17 games. We'll look at the stats at the end of it. So he did lead that fourth quarter comeback. It was pretty impressive. Now, did he make a lot of stick throws and convert a lot of pro-like throws? Not necessarily. They kind of out-schemed him, out-athleted them on the perimeter, but still, he executed the offense and they won the game. So pretty impressive end there to the Penn State. Let's move right back on to Michigan. This was a huge game. I believe Michigan was playing for possible to the playoff. And Ohio State. I think they were both kind of live for the playoff. They're 10-1, 10-1. Yeah, so they both had a possibility after this. All right, so what do we got? We got a keep here. So I want to see him run a little bit, and I want to look at his stats. I kind of already did. I cheated. I looked at his Maryland stats. He had like 3 rushing touchdowns and like 60 yards. So I kind of want to see just how he is as a runner. I mean, again, little margin for error for pocket passers nowadays, and he seems to be just a pocket passer rather than a guy who makes a lot of plays. They run that mesh concept type thing with the sit route over the ball. Again, he's good. He understands it. He's good at that. There it is again. He reads it pretty well. But him being a pocket passer rather than like a scrambler, wow, rather than like a scrambler, um, again, kind of behind the eight ball with what normally these spread quarterbacks are coming out into, like Trubisky and even Goff has. Goff's a pocket passer, but he's got some good mobility. Not saying Haskins doesn't have good mobility. I think he's athletic enough. He just it doesn't seem to be part of his game and his mentality to extend plays. I think he's more likes to manipulate in the pocket. They run mesh yet again. Michigan's playing man and just gets picked or trailed, whatever it is. See it right here. They run it out of the bunch. So at 89, or no, he stops over the ball. They bring the two crossers. Oh, I think they were victimizing that dude Watson. If I remember, I was watching this live a little bit. I think that was like a backup corner. So they were definitely picking on one of their corners. Again, we haven't really seen him connect on any deep balls. As pretty as a throw down the field, he looks throwing down the field. Oh, he doesn't really complete many of them. All right, so this is him manipulating the pocket here. See his eyes downfield. I like it. Again, he makes quick decisions, and his other glaring positive for me is kind of how he deals with pressure. Like that's a crazy type of throw there. Throwing off at different platforms. So, I mean, my biggest criticism with his game right now is accuracy and placement. Mainly, well, both accuracy and placement. Being able to get the ball to a receiver, accuracy, and being able to put it where it needs to be in terms of run after the catch or back shoulder, whatever you have. Yeah, I think 28 was the guy they victimized. So that would be my biggest concern with him, which is probably the number one trait I look for, at least physically, for a quarterback. But quick decision making and a command of his offense, 100%. That's it's just a little behind him, but it looked like a good rep otherwise. And receivers got to make that catch. Yeah, receivers got to make it. It's on his shoulder pad. But just stepping up in the pocket, his arm is great. I should say that's his other glaring positive. Is probably where you start is his arm talent. Oh man, Dwayne. So Ricky Geiger again told me on YouTube that this was one of his better tapes, and we already see him miss. That's great separation there. You have to put that on him. Keeps it on the power read there. Huh, no, it's not power read. They're leaving the three technique here. Leaving the three, reading the three. Interesting. All right, we'll move on. 3rd and 1. Run a nice little RPO there. Tight end in the flat. Easy. Again, it's behind him. Again, it's placed behind him. Oh, so here's what they run off the mesh. So they run this off the shallow cross. And are they in man? Yep. So it screws up 24 now. He's trailing, and then the return. We call it a whip. The whip back outside. Usually off a slant or shallow cross. Then you return. So there's a deep ball. Receiver probably should have made the play. Looks good in the pocket. Let's get back to it. There he goes. Looks good in the pocket. Gets his lower body into the throw there. Looks good. I don't think he wants to place this back shoulder, but honestly, it's not terrible placement for the situation. Um, he also puts it on a line. If he puts more air under it, the safety might get there. Safety's got to respect two. He can get over to one, so if it's not put on a line like that, not thrown with that velocity and trajectory, the safety might be able to get there. So that's pretty good. I mean, perfect placement would have been not back shoulder. Receiver still should have made the play. Again, a little inconsistent with his placement. Um, not his greatest strength. They run mesh again. 14 gets a huge gain, and it's on number 28. Okay, there's 28 again, getting burnt. Again, looks great in the pocket. They deal with a stun up front. A little bit of pressure off the edge and even inside. He doesn't care. Eyes downfield. Good ball. One athlete's better than the other. 17. I mean, he doesn't even get a good release. Just kind of comes back to the ball. 28 loses it. Good ball. Here's a scramble. Okay, kind of rare to see, but he can pick up some yards. Prefers to be in the pocket though. That's, again, you're trying to go after 28, but it's just a poorly placed ball. I don't think he's trying to allow him to come back to it. I think it's just not his best throw. Haven't seen him really complete anything, I would say, over 30 yards. Have not seen him complete in 3.5 games. Michigan had that played well. Run the tunnel screen like they did a lot against Penn State. And 21 just makes people miss. I'm pretty sure he was the guy. No. Sorry, Victor was the guy who won the game against Penn State with the big play. Little reverse orbit motion. Again, does he give guys a chance to run after the catch? Generally, yes. On the perimeter screen stuff. Sets his feet, throws across to a wide open receiver. There was a similar play, I believe it was in the Nebraska game. Again, this is not necessarily the easiest thing in the world because of kind of how long of a throw it is. I shouldn't say it's not easy. It's pretty easy. Most college quarterbacks can make this throw. It's just how fast it gets there is pretty impressive. Michigan's all messed up. I think 28 was playing left corner, so I'm sure he was supposed to be there. Whatever the case is, Haskins' mechanics look beautiful is what that play pretty much tells me, and his arm is awesome. Trying to get some touch. There's 28 again. Need to stop. I don't even want to pick on him anymore. There he takes a shot. Not bad placement. I mean, best decision in the world. That safety jumps that. Let's see. Where did the second safety come from? Oh, he fell off. Got it. Yeah, I mean, listen, he gave him room. Receiver gave him room. He placed it right on the hash there, or on the marker there. There's a good ball. That might be one of the best throws he's had in all the film I've seen. O-line is doing a terrific job this game also. He drops that one right in there. Definitely perfect placement on that play. See his eyes. I think it's just one read. Hey, there's the mesh concept, and finally they get the back. Usually the back is kind of the first read. If you get exactly this, which is what you want, and then it's a backer versus your back. That's pretty good speed there by 30. Perfect ball. Sets up a 1st and goal. Give an opportunity to run after the catch. Somebody missed a block. Oh, I remember this situation. I think they didn't score or something. I'm pretty sure they didn't score. Like the clock ran out or something. Yeah, well they didn't. Trying to hit the seam. Kind of like a post there. I'm interested to see what his completion percentage is. I mean, he definitely gets a lot of the short stuff, but he doesn't. Is complete when they do like those um, Pro Football Focus or the analytics that kind of show your deep ball completion and all that. I don't think that's going to be very good for him. Here's mesh sit again. Clearly their favorite passing concept, as we've seen in every game. And the sit route's wide open. It's a good concept. Here you can see it. So he's going to mesh. Oh, he's gonna fake the mesh. They brought the mesh from the other side. The shallow cross from the other side, and he sits right there over the ball. Second 11. They run it again. Finally, 14 gets a little bit of play recognition there. Low slant again. See, maybe I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and say he wanted to put it there because of 23. Because if he puts it high, it's a hospital ball. So maybe he wanted to throw it low. Let's see Dwayne in the pocket. Yeah, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Although with his placement issues, I don't. Maybe I shouldn't give him that benefit of the doubt. Another shallow cross. Another gigantic gain. Does he get in? No. Again, lets him run after the catch. 10's not great in coverage either. What are you doing, Harbaugh? Who are you recruiting? The whip. Does he get in? No. So he knows what he wants. They definitely outcoach them. First and goal. Speed option. Pretty easy. Disappointed in Michigan in this game. Wow. I mean, you got to be kidding me. All right, I didn't. Let's see. Does he get credit for that? Did he pitch that forward? Wait, what? Was that a direct snap? No, he just handed it off very quick. Okay, so we won't get passing yards for that. Because remember, I know he has 50 touchdowns. So how does he get 50 touchdowns when he doesn't hit many deep balls? So 48-32. Yeah. Missed tackle. I mean, Michigan, come on. Mesh sit. There he is running with the ball. We wanted to see it. Yep, he's got good size. He's strong. Makes generally good decisions. I mean, he's a good prospect. I said in the other video that I wouldn't take him in the first round. I probably wouldn't, but I could see why you would. I've had strong convictions on other quarterbacks in the past, and see there now he kind of finishes it off with one of his better throws. Again, there's a lot to like. Those mechanics there are pretty much textbook. Steps up in the pocket, off the hitch, high and outside, on the corner route. I'm not even going to say who we beat. Still running our quarterback? What's this? Still running our quarterback when the game's over. All right, I switched browsers because the other browser wasn't working. So let's go to his stats. Yeah, I was going to look up the Maryland highlights, but we kind of see why. So I go down to this Maryland game. 3 touchdowns passing, 405 yards, 28 to 38. But where was the rushing? 15 for 59 and 3 touchdowns. So whatever they had schematically that game, I mean, Maryland wasn't that, yeah, that was the 52-51. So interesting. I think he can run, and obviously they did some quarterback run game stuff. I mean, he had about 5 carries a game, but he doesn't. I think he prefers to be a pocket passer, which is what you want. You'd rather go that way than the other way. You'd rather have somebody who is comfortable in the pocket, kind of develops as a playmaker rather than other way around. And then they have to learn how to play from the pocket in the NFL is not ideal. You see, look at his stats. I mean, 50-8 with a 70 completion percentage. You can kind of see the 70, a lot of shallow crosses, a lot of perimeter screens. Deep ball definitely was not great. All right, so just to wrap up Dwayne Haskins here, I mentioned some of his glaring positives. Arm talent, number one, quick decision making, command of his offense, and some of his weak points, placement and accuracy, and not really being a playmaker outside the pocket and outside the structure of the offense, with placement accuracy being much more of a concern. The other thing, not being a playmaker outside the pocket, is more like just gives him very little margin for error in today's game. A lot of the young quarterbacks are able to do that. So we'll grade him here on all of these major factors and position specifics, and then do the math, give him a final grade, and then we'll go on to the next prospect. So size, these are just going to go from 1 to 10, and then we'll just divide by however many there are and get the average. So size, he's got great size. I would say it's pretty much ideal. So I'll say 9. His play speed, he plays pretty fast. Again, this is a major factor here. So it's basically this kind of, it doesn't directly correlate with the 40-yard dash, but you know how some people say they play faster, like maybe a Jarvis Landry or Larry Fitzgerald. They play faster than they might time. This is basically what my eye thinks they're 40, or how fast they are, regardless of their 40. So obviously Haskins isn't going to be very fast. We'll give him a 5. His quickness, he's not very quick. He's quick decision making, but again, this is kind of his athleticism. So from what I see on tape, again, we'll give him a 5. Agility, same thing. Balance, he seems to have pretty good balance. Weren't many times where he was hit and like broke a tackle or anything like that. He also was awkward sliding, so we'll give him a 6. And again, we didn't see the Maryland tape, so we don't know how he got those 3 rushing touchdowns. He might be a better athlete than I'm giving him credit for, but again, we only watched 3.5 games. Strength, he's pretty strong. I'll give him a 7. Again, now this is kind of relative to other positions, so, or not relative, so it's kind of just always consistent. I mean, his position is involved, but we try to keep it. We're not going to give a quarterback who runs a 4.6 like a 9 speed, because a wide receiver who runs a 4.6 is going to have, a 6 or 7 speed, most likely. Explosion, again, not a very explosive athlete. We'll say 6. And then competitive nature. So this is something obviously I would read about. You'd like to kind of get a feel for it on film. Again, it's very difficult for me to do this, but I just put it in just so I have a concrete number for everything. And, if I was doing this professionally, it would be way different. But so based on the film we watched, again, it's hard to really give a concrete thing. So we'll just give him a 7.5. He, like I said, having a command of his offense is a pretty good example of being competitive. Intelligence, I thought he was pretty football intelligent based on reading stuff and protections and all that, and checking with his O-line, especially on the road. So we can give him a solid 8 for that. Arm strength, I mean, we might want to go to 9.5 here. He's one of the better arms I've seen. Setup quickness, yeah, pretty good, I would say. Release is pretty good. We'll give him a solid 8 there. Field vision and progressions, again, I think it was fairly advanced. But their offense was also very easy, so I shouldn't say advanced. I think he was just good at it. Um, so we'll give him a 7.5. Okay, accuracy short was good. We'll give him a solid 8. Accuracy long is our problem. We'll give him a 4. I mean, that's what we saw on film, right? What he hit a couple. That was it. Delivery quickness. So his delivery was fairly quick. I thought. I don't think it was anything crazy. We can go 8 there. It was definitely good. Pocket awareness, mobility. I liked his pocket awareness. We could definitely give him a solid 8 there. His running ability. So again, now this is kind of the outside the pocket, and the Maryland game obviously had that. So we didn't see much of it. If we were going to give this to Lamar Jackson, obviously it would be a 10. Trying to think of a different example. Like Trubisky might be a 7.5. So if we're going to go by that, we'll give him a 6.5 because he definitely had ability. Ball handling was good. We saw him fumble the one. So we can give him a solid 7.5 there. Against pressure, I thought he was very good. Definitely above average, so we can give him an 8. Poise, I thought he was pretty poised. That looked good. We'll give him an 8. And then leadership, again, I just have to give him something. I usually give, unless I read an article or know something crazy about them, I usually give them all a 7.5 or an 8. So we can give him an 8 based on, maybe I'll narrative it and say he won. So that's pretty much it for Dwayne Haskins. And yeah, thanks for watching.